welcome to Along the Rock, brought to you by the Radar Free Press. I am your host, Kaitlyn Blum, and today with us we have Rachel and Tim, and you are from Habitat for Humanity.
Correct. Thank you, Kaitlyn, for having us on today. We are with the Dixon Habitat for Humanity. We've been an organization for about 33 years, so we're very proud of that. We're building our 33rd home this year for this year's recipient family. And so thank you for having us on.
Absolutely. So for those who don't know what Habitat for Humanity is, can you give us a little overview?
Absolutely. We, again, are a local chapter of International, since we think 1982, we've been in Dixon, building one home per year for a recipient family. There is an application process, and then we choose a homeowner and their family to obtain that home that year, and then they participate in the build, and they put in some sweat equity hours, and then they are able to get an interest-free loan on that home when they move in the fall.
Wow. Yeah. So can you tell me a little bit more about Dixon's chapter in general, what impact they've made on the community?
Sure. We have an active board of directors, about a dozen to 15 board of directors at any point in time. The exciting thing about our board is that about half the board are retired individuals, and the other half are active in the workforce. So we have to schedule our meetings around people's real lives, which is it's sometimes in contrast to a lot of boards of other organizations I've seen where they're all retired and kind of out of touch with what's going on in the community. So our board's been around 33 years. We have a 3-year term, and then we cycle the board members out. Over the years that we've been around, we estimate that we've added about $3 million in new tax roll money properties by taking an empty lot and building a house on it. So we think that's a pretty major contribution just on a financial standpoint. The other big contribution is that we've put 33 families in decent living, decent homes.
Yeah, you've impacted all these families, but also had an economic impact
Absolutely.
On the community as well. So can you tell me more about these families?
Yeah, so we have some needs that they have to satisfy. They have to be below a certain income level and still be able to pay for a house. So we've got a band of income that they have to fall between depending on the size of the family. They have to show a willingness to partner with us, which means that they have to help build the house. So that's 250 hours of work that they have to contribute to building the house and some other tasks regarding that. And they have to show a housing need. So some of the types of housing that our homeowners lived in previously included a 2-bedroom house where one of the kids slept in an unheated attic, the basement regularly flooded. We had another family where the mother slept in an unheated enclosed porch. We had one where the room sizes were inadequate. There was mold in the bathrooms. There were rodent infestations on the property. Other house, uneven floors, water leaks, constant problems with mice, the doors stuck, inadequate heating, no heat in the kitchen, no heat in the first floor bathroom, broken windows, broken doors, doors that don't lock, ceilings that sag. So they came from that kind of environment and moved into a brand new house.
Wow. So yeah, you're really helping some families that are in really tough situations.
Yep, absolutely. That's really what it's all about, is moving them and giving them a decent place to live.
Absolutely. Quality of life. Yeah,
Yep.
we all deserve to have a safe home to live in.
It's, if I may, it's also really special for us as a board and as volunteers to witness the transformation in the family from like the day one of, say, groundbreaking, and just that that level of excitement that builds over the next few months while they're while they're putting their time in and while they're helping on the job site, and just that ownership that they take on, and just they're at the dedication in the fall, there are tears. They're so excited to have that improvement in their lives and for their families. So it's just really neat as a board to kind of see that transition as well.
Absolutely. Getting to help with the bill just gives you that sense of ownership, that sense of empowerment to help their families. Yeah.
Well, according to 2025 housing statistics, 1 in 7 households spend more than 50% of their income on just housing.
Wow.
And when you look at that, when you pare that down, I mean that's significant. 1 in 7 spend more than 50% of their annual income just in their housing. It doesn't leave a whole lot else for other, a whole lot of money left over for other things like a quality of life. So it's neat to see that we're improving one family at a time, that situation for them. So.
Yeah.
In addition to the sweat equity, we also provide credit counseling and financial counseling, teach how to do a budget, how to manage your housing, how to manage your bills, and we teach life skills. So in the sweat equity, going from being a renter to being an owner, there's a lot of things that have to be done around the house. So one of our recent homeowners was excited about, I now know how to read a tape measure. I know how to prime a wall. I know how to paint this. I know how to do this. So they learn hand skills through the sweat equity, the lessons that they can apply during the rest of their lives as a homeowner.
Yeah, they're getting so much more than just a house, like skills that are going to go with them for a lifetime.
Yep.
So can you tell me about an upcoming build?
We are building our 33rd house this year on JD Avenue in Dixon. We have a recipient family that's already started helping out with that. It is pretty much enclosed and we're ready for the roof at this point.
I think so.
And
over there this week.
It's just been a great experience. Nicole is our recipient this year. She's dedicated. She's there every Saturday with our local volunteers. And she's really very ecstatic. So it will probably complete October, November. So
coming up.
Yeah,
wow.
I know. It's awesome. Yep, she's excited.
So you mentioned volunteers. Can you tell me what role volunteers play in this organization?
We kind of have two different sets of volunteers. We have the skilled building volunteers, and they work during the week. They come one day a week, and there's carpenter, plumber types. We also, we do hire some work done, some of the licensed work, some of it's donated. But we have our skilled volunteers who work during the week. And then on the weekend, we have different businesses and organizations come in, like ComEd, sewer equipment, Rotaries, Kiwanis, hospitals, medical practices.
Knights of Columbus,
Knights of Columbus. And so they volunteer for that Saturday, and then they show up, and our skilled folks supervise them doing less skilled work.
Right.
Some of the lifting and painting and priming and moving things around so that organizations can volunteer to contribute that way one Saturday in the project.
So you have a little bit for no matter what your skill set is, you're able to contribute to this project.
Yes.
Absolutely. And we lovingly refer to our skilled builders as the Band of Brothers. So, they really take a lot of pride in providing their skills to help these families as well. So it's neat to see them, finish the project as well. They're almost just as excited as the homeowners are.
I bet they have a great sense of accomplishment after such a big project. Is there any misconceptions about Habitat for Humanity?
I think the biggest misconception is that people think we give the house away, and that is not the program. So in addition to putting in their 250 hours of service, when the house is completed, we have it appraised, and we sell it to the homeowner for the appraised value. So they have an obligation to pay the appraised value. That appraised value is financed with two different loans. One is an interest-free loan where they pay principal spread over 30 years, plus the taxes and insurance. So they have to pay their real estate taxes. They have to keep the house insured, just like on any mortgage with any financial institution. As we qualify them for how much they can afford, that's the amount of that mortgage. Any shortfall between the sales price and that mortgage is a second mortgage that is forgivable over the life of the mortgage as long as they remain in the house. So that prevents someone from moving into the house and turning around and selling it and cashing out for the equity difference. So they're obligated that if they ever sell the house or move before it's paid off, they owe the full price. Now, if they stick with the program and live in it, That part is forgiven every year. And the dollar amounts vary depending on construction cost, appraised value, and their financial situation. But that's probably the biggest misconception. People say, oh, those people just get a free house. No, they don't. They pay for it.
Yeah, I was going to say, that, like you said, they have that sense of actual ownership from building it, and then they also own it because they paid for it.
Exactly. I agree with you, Tim. That is a really big misconception. And, I know every Habitat chapter is a little different. Some chapters do things like build handicap ramps or do roof repairs and things like that. And that is not something that our chapter has really gotten involved in. We talk about it. We'd like to put some things in place in the future for that kind of stuff, but we don't have anything in place now. So we get a lot of phone calls asking for assistance with things like that, and it's just not something that we're currently getting into. So, but always welcome to field phone calls or people have questions. And we also have a lot of local residents that want to make donations as well, and that's fantastic. Sometimes they'll want to donate, furniture to the homeowner and things like that. So we field those requests or those offers for the homeowner as well. So
okay, so there's more ways to support your program.
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's good to know because not everybody's physically able to build.
Exactly, everybody can contribute in some way, shape, or form. Yep.
Do you have any big plans for the future?
We're working on we're always looking for new properties in Dixon, so we're monitoring properties that are available that can either be donated to us or that we can buy at a reasonable cost. We're exploring, as Rachel said, we currently don't offer any sort of home remodel or repairs. We're exploring some resources to do that maybe next year. We have no paid staff. Contrary to some habitats that are enormous. Rockford Habitat is a big organization. They build a lot of houses a year. We have no paid staff, so bigger projects will rely on our volunteer labor.
Yeah.
The good news is, with no paid staff, we have no overhead other than paying to build the house and having insurance and some things like that we have to do, and having some financial reports done and things. Pretty much a large share, 80-90% of everything that comes in goes right back into the house. We tithe with Habitat International, so that 10% of our unrestricted funds that we fund for building in other places in the world. So we have that, but that's only our unrestricted funds. And then we have an annual fee that we pay to Habitat International that allows us to use the logo of Habitat International and use that name, and they hold us accountable. There's a whole list of standards that we have to comply with. So big goals are to keep in compliance so that we don't lose that accreditation, and maybe do some extra projects. But we have no big plans to double or triple our building capacity. We're really pleased with what we're able to do, and we think we do it well.
Yeah, well, it sounds like you have just like a really sustainable organization. Like you've been here for 30 years. It's undoubtedly going to be here for another 30.
Yes.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Well, is there anything else that you might want to add?
People can donate. They can come to our website, habitatdixonil.org. We also have a Facebook page that they can go to and see pictures of volunteers working on the house and pictures of the family, pictures of the build site. We have some phone numbers on the website that they can reach out to us if they have questions. We're just getting ready to gear up for our applications for our 2026 build. Those should be available shortly. They can reach out to us again through an email that's located on the website, and we're monitoring that. And we're always excited to get more applicants because we want to make sure that we get a nice pool of applicants to come in, because not everybody qualifies.
Right.
Well, thank you, Rachel and Tim, for being here with me today and having a conversation. I want to say thank you to our listeners and our production crew, of course. And remember that the Radar Free Press is free, so we do rely on those likes, shares, and comments to spread stories such as these. And if you want to hear more stories like this, check out theradar.online.